Good day and welcome to Arts Talk, and I'm chilling with my main man, the CCI expert or analyst, whatever you call him, Thami Mbongo. Manzana. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for Thami. Yo, Thami, it's been a hectic week.
Hey, kakul. So many things.
Full of drama.
Aish, it drama means. And before the show, actually, bending anything it drama. The city, why about abamnyama bengatandu ugnoma? Yabo, ingathi thina siyavuya nje unyansana. You understand? But when you look at other race, you understand that people are happy for each other. But thina abantu abamnyama, all the time we're trying to find something to criticize. You understand? So it was bothering me since izolo. So this morning I posted in various groups. It's interesting responses abantu, you understand, towards that. Because we are saying one thing before we even start the show, Mr. Mafokate, one thing that Minister Gauteng Mackenzie is very clear, we understand that, is the support towards colored people. Are compromising a lot. Imagine zange sakafumana like umuntu othi ndi proud ngobumnyama and andizoba apologetic. So I call it witchcraft. I call it ubugqwirha, but sizothetha more kule show yanamhlanje.
It's so funny. Maybe, I don't know, we've been oppressed up to a point where it has affected our way of thinking.
Sure, yeah.
But sometimes also congratulating somebody or commenting on somebody's success might actually help you.
Yeah.
It might inspire you to also do like them or better than them.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes maybe it might be what's our downfall as Africans.
Sure, yeah.
Because I don't know, why is it only us?
I don't know.
I'm sure it happens with others, but with us, because we can feel it at first hand.
Sure,
That it's actually not good.
Yeah, right. Anyway, yeah. See,
I brought this thing for you so that it
okay.
Yeah, sorry.
No.
So what's happening? What are our talking points today? What's happening? What has been happening in the industry?
I think let's start with Mzansi golden economy because the outcomes have been out. You understand? And there were a lot of
debates.
You
guys wanted the results.
We always wanted the list. You understand? But before we even start there, Mr. Mafokate, I want to give a breakdown of something. You understand? Because, the new minister always say, I want to do things different. I want to open up the pool. You understand? Just for creatives out there. If you look at 2023 to 2024, right? According to Mzansi Golden Economy, there was about 175 projects that were approved. And the budget that was allocated...
Between when and when?
2023 to 2024.
Okay.
Anne?
Yes.
175 projects approved. The budget, it was sitting at about 130 million. 130. And then... Remember, when they do MGE, they always emphasize the job creation.
Yes.
In that year, there were about 12,000 jobs created.
Yeah.
Let's look at 2024 to 2025.
Yes.
Before Sifike Kulesiko.
Yes.
The audit in terms of approved number is not yet finalized.
Yes.
I'm not sure why.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's not out there. But there was an allocation of 1.2 billion. That was allocated with MGE sub-program. And they unpack what do I mean. You understand?
Yeah, because I'm confused.
Yeah, so there was an amount that was allocated. You remember there was a program, Artist in School program, whereby artists is here school when is Abantu. It was called Artist in School. Yeah.
Wait. Was it national?
Yes.
It was a national?
Yeah.
Okay, I was not aware of that.
There were artists all over the country who will go to different schools and work. Yeah, but it was initiative at department.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know about it.
You understand?
Oh, it died.
It died,
okay.
Yeah. So in 2024, 2025, there was an allocation of 69.4 million towards that. And it was part of that 1.2 billion. Mamela, under the open call, late discusswayo ngoku yayazi imali ne allocated it was about 1.13 billion
for what?
For MGE open call, And this money was allocated to cover cultural events, touring venture, public art, flagship program, and capacity building. We understand. Do you know how many jobs 2024 to 2025 as a creator? It's about 60,000 jobs that were created.
Yeah.
So, Masize minister currently, 2025, 2026, all right? Projects.
No, 2026 can be current.
2025 till 2026.
Okay.
To the new financial year, next year. So projects, a parliament that we announced, Yakomula be 152.
Oh, you're talking about the recent budget speech? Yes. I have that one, yes.
It was 152 projects, the MGE that were approved. But if you look closer to the list that was released, it's about 150 projects. Ungati, it's not important, Mr. Mafokate, the other two. We need to find out what happened to the other two. But the total amount that is allocated, it was 108,45,992, which is lesser from the previous year.
But wait a minute, are you not confusing the new budget speech with the previous allocation? Remember, the budget speech was for what's still going to happen.
Sure, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you cannot then talk about the current budget speech and try and say they've already done that, because it's still going to happen.
Yeah. But I'm dealing only with Mzansi Golden Economy.
Yes.
And I'm coming there, we understand?
Yes.
So it's about that 108 in total. But what is interesting, there is no mention even in the announcement, you understand, what is their target of jobs that must be created, like in previous year, you understand? Because the minister kept on saying, I want to open up the pool, I want to give more people, we understand? It's interesting that in the previous year, there were more people that were getting into the pool, but this year,
so many people are going to lose jobs.
Big time.
With the current allocation.
Big time. Big time. You understand?
How so?
And because Adicho Besquaz Bala Besicity Siswa got 12,000 job creation, EA was 60,000. You understand? But when you look at the amount, and each of the reason why Beslin Dilector Minister is going to do things differently. You understand? As Konoguti, about Bazonikwa, Imali, you understand, to create more job opportunities. But if you really look closer at that list, some of the amount that are given to people are less. You understand that? And this importance of saying it target your job created is not clear. So in an actual way, I can say for the first time here, Shail Minister. It department is Shail. We understand? Because
or besikona
song.
Yes.
You understand? Because a pool is going to open up. You understand? And more people are going to get. And the point that you were talking, Mr. Mafokate, of a budget. According to a budget, the department, the MGE, it was allocated about 223,875,000. You understand? But so far, we announced 108. There's an amount of about 115,429.
Is it thousands or millions? You said 1,000 instead of millions.
Millions, yes, sorry, yes. You understand? So there's still an amount that we are not sure Uguti is our yapi. Remember in the last show I was saying some of the money go to a South African.
Yes, I remember you did say that. Yes.
So I need to find out Uguti exactly. You understand? Because in the previous year it was clear.
In the last financial year, how much was allocated to MGE?
In the
last financial years, the one that's linked with this announcements that they just made.
The 2024, 2025.
Yes.
It was that 1.13 billion.
What?
Yeah. So you can see that it's a big difference. And a lot of people, they are busy discussing as in. We understand that.
But 1.3?
1.13 billion.
So are you saying everything that goes to the department goes through MGE? Or it's just a portion?
You see, it's just a portion.
Oh yeah, because the total budget was 6 billion.
You understand that it was more. We understand, and hence I gave that breakdown. Uguti artist in school because it was under MGE. We understand, so it's important to.
I hear what you're saying now. Yes, because I think that's where we also make a mistake.
Sure.
We don't go deep.
Yeah.
We don't go deep into this amounts.
Yeah.
Wow. So then,
So
let me ask you a question.
Sure.
There are sector boards that have been formed.
Sure.
What is going to be their role in this discussion of the budget?
Mr. Mafokate, it's tricky, Lendo.
Because on another hand, you cannot start by accusing the minister and say, Ushaile,
Sure.
when you didn't even know what was supposed to happen. Okshaya kanjani when you don't even know what the expectations are.
Expectation from us, the sector.
No, Mauti, Oshaye industry, I need to Shai industry. But what were the real expectations of the industry?
Because Kai City Minister, I want to open up the pool. I want to, you understand, and a lot of people know Guti MGE is one of the program is creator jobs as needs for Abanaba needs. So we're thinking, Uguti, we understand, maybe, let's say Mr. Mafokate, but maximum it was 2 million, all right? But in the list, you will find about fund, let's say 300,000, you understand, which means Basel creator more jobs. Yeah, but that 150, you can even fund, let's say about 50, but to create more job opportunities because the program, you understand, is about solid. You understand? But now, you understand, Abando are going to look at this number, 150. That's why in the beginning of the show, I wanted us to start backwards. So that's what were the numbers.
But then it means the previous call that was cancelled made more sense in terms of counting the numbers because they had to give you the number of people to employ.
Exactly. If you remember,
because if you remember that one had guidelines,
specifics.
Yes, that if you are going to provinces, this is the number of jobs you must create.
Because it was saying for a month, you understand, you need to create 90 jobs.
Oh, you know that.
If you are creating, you understand, for 9 months, it was clear, but in this one, it's not clear. We understand, which is it's concerning. You understand? We need to find out what is happening.
I will find out because I know there's a meeting. I think it's on Thursday.
Yeah.
I'll find out.
Okay.
Yes, I'll come with the answers. I'm going to find out. In this regard, how do you then count the jobs?
Sure. Yeah.
Because it's very important to know how you count the jobs.
Yeah.
Yes. Because that one was infused in the guidelines.
Sure.
But this time around, one needs to find out so that
you
can come back with the response.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you understand the overview, but also in let's think is something because the minister keeps on talking about transparency, right? But the process must be transparent. Yeah. I don't know, Mr. Mafokate, with this thing generally. I once in one of the meetings suggested this thing to the National Arts Council. I don't know what is the take of hiding the names of the adjudicators in this program. I understand the way, but if I know what Mr. Mafokate is the adjudicator with NAC, then this is a grouper. We understand.
What has always been the case before? Because it's so funny that all these years, I never got to know who the adjudicators are.
Really?
Did you ever know?
Some, but I've heard.
Did they come out and say we are adjudicators?
Ndivile kuthiwa kusayinwa ezinye document
confidential.
As confidential.
I would assume so.
Yeah, you understand.
But have you ever spotted one and say officially? Do they announce them?
In this show,
with football, you can tell the referee is so and so, linesman is so and so, the match commissioner is so and so. With football, when it's football of the year, they will mention.
Sure. With yes. You remember there was allegations, Oguti, the reason why the previous one was cancelled, because there were already people, you understand, who were in touch with the adjudicators. You understand that they were already approved. You understand? So the minister came in to say, we are cleaning up the whole process. So don't you think, you understand, that to be fair, you understand that after announcing to say, Kuti, these were our adjudicators, so that people, because they always talk about conflict of interest and all that, maybe it was going to assist, especially if they are not looking at using the same adjudicators next year.
Let me ask you a simple question.
Sure.
If you were one of the adjudicators, would you want to be revealed?
After the process,
Would you want to be revealed?
I wouldn't mind. After the process, I wouldn't mind. But during the process, obviously, it's tricky.
And then what if you get criticized and then people say you don't deserve to come back when you know that you judged fairly? But people say, yeah, Sibonile nje, what were you thinking because Thami is there? Don't you think it might jeopardize your career as well?
Yeah, definitely, sure. As I said in the beginning, it goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning of the show. We have also, it's always tricky, these things. You understand how to navigate. We have, but a lot of people were concerned about, one, the adjudicators, and two, this thing of the province, people are always concerned because you would know whether we NAC, we NFVF, they specify ukuthi this province got this much, you understand, in terms of numbers. But when they announced this one, they didn't specify, like, you would think.
But how does that impact on national projects?
I was about to say, you would think. You remember when in this one, people were also allowed to go across the 9 provinces to drop applications out.
Yeah.
You understand, which was totally different. You will assume, okanye think, ndingathi ibi expectation. When they were doing that, they wanted to show ukuthi there will be a balance in terms of the province.
But how do you balance the provinces? For an example, Gauteng has got over 18 million people.
Yeah.
How do you then balance it?
We can steal from, obviously.
Free State maybe has got 2 million people.
But don't you think...
So then how do you balance it?
Okay. let me steal something from the National Arts Council,
yes,
which I love over the years.
You might love because it's unfair to Gauteng, because Gauteng has got 18, but when they give it across, they give it the same way. You might be loving it because you are from Western Cape.
No, I'm not laughing. No. I'm not laughing just because it disadvantages.
Okay, tell us about it.
But I'm saying the breakdown, they give you a breakdown, you understand it too. You would know from Gauteng, we've received this amount of application, and out of that application, we have declined so much because of compliance, and these ones have been approved. Like a breakdown of that, it will be interesting to get, we understand, Uguti, how many people in total applied and across provinces to get that breakdown, Uguti, in Eastern Cape, in PE, in Limpopo, just to get a sense. Limpopo.
Yes.
Yeah, well, just to get a sense of what we understand. So I think it was going to be important because a lot of people were complaining about that. Yeah, well. And lastly, it was this thing of reputation versus reality. Because UTSEC always likes to talk about change, inclusion, and innovation. We understand Uguti, it's a new ways of doing things, but you see, Uguti, it's not a new. When you look at that list in closing on my side, yeah, well, the concern now is, if you remember the Mr. Mafokate, NPC were allowed to apply, PTY.
NPCs were allowed, but they had to go.
But they had to have the NPO certificate. Yes. Yeah, and I was like, surprised, to say, Kuti. So there's no NPC that got that NPO that qualified. And if you look at the number of PTYs versus NPO, it's very interesting. And currently, there's a big debate. I was in another meeting last night, and people were saying there are construction companies there. And I was reminding people, to remember, the department said, if your organization is not ready, you can collaborate with any company that is having its documents that are compliant.
And the issue is the employment of the cultural and creative practitioners. they might come back and say, yeah, we see it's a construction company, but
Yeah.
who is it going to employ?
Because of the catering company, you understand? But the catering company, I'm going to do events that is going to employ so many artists that are going to come.
It's always tricky.
It's a
And
very tricky
I
one.
just want to take you back. I'm looking at, Stats SA estimates for 2024.
Sure.
Gauteng has got 15.9, which is 16 million.
Sure.
You have KZN 12
Million.
over 12 million. And then you have Northern Cape 1.4.
Yeah. How
So
do you
if you're
balance?
doing exactly what I was trying to say to you, that it's easy to sit in a meeting and say, no, it must be equal. But how equal? Do you prorate it? Do you use, there has to be some ratio used. There has to be some ratio used. So
Yeah.
you can't tell me that they didn't go across the board. There has to be some ratio used. You are from Western Cape. You are here in Gauteng.
Sure, yeah.
If you get it in Gauteng and you lose it in Western Cape, fine.
Hey, it's deep, Mr. Mafokate, because the final that our minister and the current minister is always talking about the inclusion of colored people, you understand? But a lot of people will say, let's look at the population. Yes, South Africa will go to, what is the number of blacks? What's the number of Indian? You understand? Does it reflect that, or you just saying by excluded? So it's
But somebody will say it's discriminatory as well, because then the blacks will say we are the previously disadvantaged crew.
So
why then? It's always going to be,
It's tricky.
guys. This thing is always going to be debated.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at almost 36 million only come from 3 provinces:
which province?
Gauteng, KZN, and Western Cape.
Western Cape.
Those are the biggest provinces.
Yeah. That's why they
36
keep-
million. And you guys now are arguing, saying, why is Gauteng, Western Cape having...
Yeah. But abantu abaninzi bada.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a very tricky one. And how do you balance it? You
Exactly.
never balance it.
Hence, I was saying you have to prorate it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You have to prorate it. It's tough.
It's tough.
It's not easy.
It's
That's
tough.
why
It's
I'm
tough.
saying sometimes I feel pity for these judges
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
or the department itself, or for us, the creatives as well, because
Yeah.
we want to get funded.
And also, not as creative, we want to be part of that thing. So we must be careful of wishing
we say,
something else for other people.
Yes.
And then when we get, if finance does a council, right, Mr. Mafokate? When I was not part of the council, I did not understand.
Yes.
What is the job of the artist, of the council.
Oh, yeah.
But when you are part of the council,
You now start to
when
understand.
you are inside the DH.
And
but
apparently, other councils have got their monies now. They're starting to work.
Yeah. Which is another concerning thing
Yes.
with this thing of compliance. You remember after Prosperat, some of these councils were not fully structured in terms of the way, but they were already tranches that were paid. But we haven't had anything about
But one wish is that the department could have came forth to assist everybody be compliant at the same
at the
time.
same time.
Yes. One just wishes, because at the moment it ends up looking like it's a competition kind of.
Yeah, who's going to do it
Yes,
first?
yes.
And remember, we understand that because establishing an organization, abanye abantu can easily go and buy a company, understand?
Yes.
Abanye abantu can use
Start
different
from
things.
scratch.
So it was going to be nice, you understand? And the playing ground was going to be level.
You
Yeah.
wish the terms of references were the same, the
sure.
approach, everything. But yeah.
Yeah.
What else is happening?
Let's talk about the Gauteng Department of Sports, Arts and Culture.
The budget speech.
and Recreation. Yeah.
How did it go?
Obviously, MEC delivered a speech, we understand, and there were a lot of debate. And interestingly, we understand, I think, Mr. Mafokate, all of our departments, the arts and culture, heritage or recreation, Bane's structure is the same. Like a budget yabo will be divided, one in administration, 2 arts and culture and heritage, 3 library and archival services, and 4 sport and recreation. So if we look at Gauteng, which is, you were saying it's the biggest, Mama Wittusol, administration, they've allocated about 165 million. You understand? Towards administration.
Million? No.
Million?
No, billion maybe.
165,503 million.
Oh, okay. 165 million.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just going for
Administration only.
Okay.
And then you look at arts, culture, and heritage. They've allocated about 219 million. Yeah.
Okay.
And then
219.
219, yeah. And then you look at library, 35 million. You understand? Sports and recreation. Here, Mr. Mafokate, I want us to have this conversation.
Yeah.
You remember when we were discussing the national budget?
Yes.
CCT, but specific when it comes to sport,
Yes.
or what they are going to do. But when it comes to arts and culture, it's not really clear.
So how much are they giving sports now?
If we're looking at sports and recreation, by dividing us, 120 million goes to mass sport and recreation program. 8.438 million goes to equipment and attire to support about 10 community games. And then there's 10 million that is allocated for operations, no creator hubs, the sport. And then there's about 10 million that is allocated only for Wednesday league school. Yeah,
how much is that?
Promote, it's about 10,991 million.
Yeah.
And then there's 5 million that is allocated to a social cohesion holiday program. Lastly, there's about 40 million allocated for a bidding to host an event.
Oh.
We are about how detailed it is. But, that's very interesting. Come to our one, arts and culture. And arts and culture is allocated 219 million.
Arts and culture, 219.
219
Yes.
million. But about specify sources sport, how much is going to what? Yeah, well, how much is going to what?
Oh, for arts and culture, it's just vague.
But with arts and culture, like for example, it will support 410 schools. It will support 40 arts and culture organizations. It will support 35 creatives in terms of incubator program, which I find it's a problem, Mr. Mafokate.
So for heritage, they didn't break it down. That's where you said it's 200 million, right?
Heritage.
Yes.
No, it was arts and culture, the 219. The administration, it was at 165.
Okay, so where is heritage there?
Heritage, it follow up with arts, culture, and heritage.
Oh, that's the 2 something.
That's the 219.
But it's not broken down.
It's not broken down.
And what's the full budget?
The total budget.
Yes.
I haven't checked, but what is the total budget?
Okay.
Because I wanted to focus on the breakdown.
The breakdown.
The breakdown.
That sports is thorough as compared to.
Because funny enough, I was thinking, because in some of this program, you remember there was grant in aid.
Yes.
There was in theater, and there were a program like Basetsane.
Are they scrapped?
I think they are scrapped. Because no one is talking about, actually I was asking Abandoned Department why you are not talking about this. We are no longer hearing about
but I heard that 100 million was cut off from the previous budget.
Last year,
yes.
Amongst these programs that I'm talking about, none happened because they were saying the budget is cut. You remember we said even in the National Arts Festival, Gauteng used to take productions. None were taken this year, you understand? So it's quite a mess with Gauteng Department when it comes to programs, the arts and culture. I'm looking forward to see which organization and structures are going to be supported.
Yes, because I saw you asking for detail. Did they give you the documents?
Not yet. Funny enough, before the show, and which I find
because I saw you've been bothering them asking for documents, and I noticed that prior to the show happening, you were still waiting.
Yeah, because I sent a message about to senior management to say, I've been looking for the speech. Yeah, well, it break down your speech, you understand? Because in your website, in your socials, it's not there. And they've been promising to send. And it was sent maybe 20, 30 minutes before this show. Yeah, well, because we really need to read it. Yeah, well, to understand yeah, well, it breakdown. Yeah, well, what I'm sure maybe after the show, I share a band of service to Melon.
I sometimes wish, after this kind of speeches,
Sure.
the leaders or the powers that be could sit down with us.
Sure, yeah.
And we break it down and ask questions about these things.
Exactly.
Because we are sent.
Yeah.
We are here as messengers.
Sure.
And people expect us to come up with answers.
Sure, yeah.
It would have helped.
Kakhulu.
Because at the moment, you even struggle to get somebody sitting here and telling you what's going on.
Sure, yeah.
And is our industry always going to be hidden in that sense, or what? And whose responsibility is it to break it down for us?
Funny enough, Mr. Mafokate, I was looking at phone in. I sent one of the senior officials. I said, I'm more interested in the breakdown of arts and culture to see what goes where. The response was, that's an allocation letter. It will not be tabled or made public.
Oh, so it's still going to be voted for.
But just like
remember, there's a speech and then there's a budget vote and debate and all those things.
Which means as the 40 centers is how much must be allocated to that, how much must be allocated. So I want to find out why is it different with sport, with arts and culture. They can't say, because in the sport, as we're doing a breakdown.
There's a lot to learn in this industry.
Too much. And I think our leaders are supposed to be doing that so that you understand equip and
but you might find that sometimes we fight amongst ourselves because we just don't have understanding about what's going on.
Exactly. And so fighter you understand? Because if but 40 organization, if your organization is not full, you will end up fighting. The organization is inside, you understand? And I think I think is this love, your policy, your governance, understanding how these things work. Before we blame money each other, I don't think
enough. Yes, that's why sometimes we need a day or two.
Sure.
Where they just take us through these things.
Sure, yeah.
I think we would understand each other better.
Sure, yeah.
If we sit down and discuss this.
Yes. There was something, Mr. Mafokate, I think last week I wanted to share. As much as you get a positive feedback, we spoke about the articles in the show. Let's say, a typical example, myself and you. You are a legend in the industry for many years. You understand? You know the ups and downs of the industry. Minang Safik, I understand. Not by new Safik. But when you combine the two, you understand? Now,
but also, not really. Because I can teach you things based on my experience.
Sure, yeah.
But that doesn't convert me into somebody that reads daily.
Sure, yeah.
Like you, where you research. Because when you come here as an analyst and expert, you research first.
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
With me, I had to go through maybe 20 years for me to understand certain things. And you can see even when we are talking that the knowledge is the same.
Sure, yeah.
We keep educating one another.
Yeah.
So somebody might be younger, but go to school and research more better than somebody who's lived the life. So the combination is what helps us.
Sure. Yeah, that's why in City, understand this kind of engagement, they help.
Yes.
And I think that's what is missing in the industry.
But now, what's also missing is we are practitioners.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But we are missing the government administrators.
Oh, yeah.
involvement.
Yeah.
They need to break it down for us.
Sure, yeah.
They shouldn't run away from us.
Sure, yeah.
Because if they run away from us, it creates a problem because
Yeah.
then we start having misconceptions.
Sure, yeah. Right. Like for example, what we are saying, NAC, for typical example, always complain about Tibatola less funding. And as a sector, every year, sizawuxabana ngala less funding. And omnye umntu will say, why don't NAC work with the cultural and creative industry, you understand, to go to the national treasury and demand more funding? So there are things that we, together with the government and government entities, we can achieve a lot to avoid silwane change, man.
Yeah, because at the moment we are fighting. Yeah?
And about who's going to be part of the abantu balambile, I'm sure that's
and
why.
And you always say that in every show that people are hungry.
Yeah. It's the truth, Mr. Mafokate. Sometimes ukubone ka ubhizi ukona ukuthi yabo awubinalo ixesha lokulwa because uyasebenza. Yabo xa uhleli nje ungasebenzi,
it's also creating worse problems.
You understand, because ubona other people when they get things and ufile when ungathi awuhleli ustuck.
How important is funding and where should it go?
If funding,
because we all have different, requests, demands.
Sure, yeah.
Where must it go? And how important is it?
I think funding is important. You understand, because when you are properly funded, you understand, you are able to create jobs for many artists. You understand, as you know, industry, it is not regulated. We are about freelancers. You understand. So the more kune project as a fund where you understand, it creates jobs for as freelancers in needs. You understand. I'm happy when more people are funded, and you see abantu bebangasebenzi baninzi, Mr. Mafokate. If you look at Gauteng alone, we understand there are a lot of artists that want to work. We understand, but I wish there was a way of funding to have a 3 to 5 years funding.
That's what I thought they were going to do. When Minister came, he spoke about 3 years and all those things. We were all excited.
He even said during it was Perat, if you're getting 2 million for the next 3 years, you are going to get that. You understand?
So that your project can get off the ground. And I'm going to use one of the festivals I do as an example.
Sure.
You do it first year, you do it second year, out of your pocket. And then the third year you are saying, no, my family is going to stop.
Sure,
And then it dies, but you know that there's a demand for it. What then do you do?
Because about this 1 year, ungayenza this year, you understand, ibe big, ibe successful. I wish if I nezinto kuthiwa community arts center excellence, kubene projects that you identify, yabona Mr. Mafokate, uthi this one created jobs nendon wathi. I don't feel it needs to go back to that line. Application.
But will we be ever satisfied? Because even if a project is working, somebody out there is still going to complain.
Definitely sure. That's the big problem here.
So that's why sometimes, if you're a minister, you end up saying, I'm just going to do what I think is right. Because
and you run with it.
I do this, they complain. I don't do this, they complain. If you were a minister today, what would you do?
About the funding?
Yeah.
Because you remember last time we spoke about there's funding that is going to entities, there's funding that is going to province. I still believe if provinces ibe clear, understand, maybe to get bakhona abantu that you feel ukuthi lo Mr. Mafokate would deserve to apply to municipality. You understand, in terms of a project. We have low wenza a provincial project. You understand?
But who determines that when there's no monitoring and evaluation in place?
That's why I said as a minister, I will look at the 3 layers. We have locally, provincially, and national. We have so that we don't all fight nationally. Ngelo xesha
Yeah, but
uMr.
the minister
Mafokate.
doesn't have jurisdiction over municipality or province.
That's why sitsho but uminister uyabanika some money
Yeah, some.
to
Yes,
deliver,
some.
understand?
Yes.
Hence we're saying these 3 layers of government, there is a need to go to, they must find a way of working together. So that not the artist efikayo esazilambela izawukhompyutha nomntu nationally that has
But
been,
that's what they're doing now.
which is I think it's wrong. Because yabo xa kufika kwi-national, that's why abantu baba angry. You understand? Because uzihlelele embekweni phaa, uyabo? Kunomntu ozihlelele ngaphaya eJoburg, you understand? Kudala senze umna ndiyilayite encinci ndifuna uzenzela nje ifestival embekweni ekasi lam. Yeah,
But they want the same amount.
Kodwa sifuna the same amount. You understand? Ngelo xesha ngapha bane-experience of doing that thing. Don't you think lo omnye sezilalile? You understand? Ezilalini abana resources abana ntoni wathi omnye ngapha unayo everything. So we can't compete on the same thing, you understand? Hence I said in the previous shows or the articles, I like what National Film and Video Foundation is doing. In a tier 1, maybe this student sandu graduate and then tier 2 une experience has produced.
But that's much better, don't you think?
That's much better because uyakwazi udibanisa abantu ukuthi lona experience yakhe ilapha, you understand? But kwezi zethu sidityaniswa sonke endaweni eba kuyafana nje kuyamoshakala. Hayi
kunzima Thami. Any other thing?
I
Me
think
very enough. It's too much. No, more especially with this Gauteng one. I need to go deep. You know,
Sure, yeah.
There's 2 things that I'm taking as my homework.
Sure.
This, you call it artist in school?
Artists in school,
Or
yeah.
arts in school, whatever.
Arts in school,
I
yeah.
need to find out about that one.
Yeah.
That 1 billion that you spoke about because I was not aware of.
Sure.
And then I need to go look at the Gauteng budget speech and look at those breakdowns and
Sure,
try and
yeah.
do my own research as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
You know, because it's very vital
Sure, yeah.
for us to understand, more especially with the 100 million that they say was cut. Where was it cut from and
Yeah.
why was it cut?
And what happens, you understand, with the programs. It's very important. Yeah, artists is all in the we can't just as artists wait for calls. We have to go to when is the funding call. We are not interested in terms of this budget speech. We have because they will affect us.
But the other thing we need to look at as an industry as well is to go to corporate. I keep repeating this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Corporate must come on board.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nakanjani. Ndiyabulela Mr. Mafokate.
Thank you.
Siyabulela.
Thanks a lot. That was Thami Mbongo
Manzana.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.